these days, people have come to a point where if they don't know who you are, you're not getting in the door. It's like there is this invisible test going on with buyers, and that test is who are you? So like there's this big wall with everybody that is successful. The other side, all the big names that you see are on the other side with the clients, with their attention, with everything. And then it's like there's everybody else whose message is hitting the wall because they can't pass the test, which is who are you? And this system has been created to solve that problem, which is help you as a best kept secret penetrate a market that otherwise you wouldn't, even if no one knows you today. It is built on a simple concept that if my house is on fire today and you show up and I don't know who you are, I wouldn't care who you are, where you come from, how tall you are, what credibility you have or don't have. If you have a fire extinguisher, you're getting the deal. After the fire is out, now we can have a chat like, who are you? What do you do? So if you're looking to penetrate your market, you're in the right place. When I first came online, all I knew was get on TV, get on billboards, get yourself in the newspaper, get yourself in Forbes. And that's how I knew how to build credibility based on my offline work. When I came online, I realized that some of this type of marketing was still very effective. In 2020, when I started my online business, when I transitioned from offline to online, the marketing then was take pictures with the most credible people and you're instantly credible. So people used to take pictures with like 8-figure people, with presidents, with everyone. And that worked really well. People would get themselves on TV. They would get themselves on Forbes. They would get themselves in the media outlets. And somehow that meant you're credible and people would hire you. But as time has gone on, the buyer has become more sophisticated. The buyers have made wrong decisions. People have invested in things that didn't help them. Somehow people have started making bigger and bigger and bigger claims, and people have lost money in the process. And with AI and all of the pieces now that are being introduced in the market, it's becoming increasingly hard to tell who is fake and who is not. And so what the buyers have done is they've created this invisible filter. And that invisible filter is who are you? People now look at the work you do in the lens of who are you? And if they can't answer that question, they are gone. That is why you can get the ad that Tony Robbins ran, word for word, image by image. You can run it in the marketplace. You can spend as much money as he has if you have a budget, and you still won't get the results he can get because people are not clicking on those ads because of the words he's saying. They're clicking on those words first and foremost for who he is. So then the question becomes, all right, Prima, if I'm a best kept secret and I truly have a life-changing concept, how do I get hired? So the best kept secret struggles more than anybody else to get hired because they don't have something tangible beyond the few people whose lives they have transformed. The best kept secret is someone who is amazing behind the scenes, but they don't have the followers, they don't have the big brand, they don't have the mansions to show for their amazingness. Recently, I had a lady whose offer was, I'll help you manifest millions. There's one problem, though she hasn't manifested millions herself. She knows the concept. She knows the principles. She can help people manifest bigger things in their lives. But when people look at her, she's not the kind of person that has manifested the millions that they want, if it makes sense. So it is very hard for her to sell her concept, even though she's like a super manifester. It is very hard for her to say, I'll help you manifest millions, and people believe. But if Oprah said the same thing, there'll be a different reaction. Not because she can say it better, but because of who she is. So it is the who before the what. And so House on Fire marketing is a principle that simply creates a scenario. If you had a mansion and you paid about 50 million to buy the mansion, you come from a holiday, You reached the gate, you entered the gates, and flames started blowing out of the house. The house caught a flame from nowhere. And in that same moment, there was someone who you have no idea who their name is. They're nameless. You don't know who they are. And they had a fire extinguisher or this gadget that could put out the fire. What are you going to do? Are you going to say, who are you? Tell me what your name is. Give me your ID. Or are you going to just say, do the work? If I'm not mistaken, what is going to happen is the nameless man is going to use his machine to put out the fire. And once everything has calmed down, he'll probably be in the house sipping a tea. And you'll be like, hey, by the way, I never got a chance to know your name. So in a market where trust is very low and people are very skeptical and there is invisible filter of who are you, the best way to slide into markets where you would never have a chance to slide is if you're the person holding a fire extinguisher when people's houses are on fire, because in that moment, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what car you are, it doesn't matter what credentials you have or don't have, doesn't matter if you're homeless. But literally, the principle is 3 steps. And the first step is, what is the fire extinguisher in your audience's lives? When people come to me today, this is the work we do. What is the fire extinguisher in your audience's lives? Someone has been dumped or divorced. That can be a house on fire for them. If you're selling solutions to get over your ex and find the soulmate of your life after that, you get tired. If someone just got promoted to a senior role and they don't know what they're doing, and you're selling executive coaching, chances are you'll get hired. The goal is to get in the door. The goal is not to change someone's life. The goal is to get in the door, because once you're in the door, there's more than enough problems that you can solve for human beings. Human beings are human beings, and they're always going to wake up with problems. If you're the person with fire extinguisher when my problem stresses me the most, chances are you now become my trusted advisor and you can help me with much more problems. The truth is, when you help someone solve one problem, another problem opens up, and another problem opens up, and another problem opens up. But you won't solve any of those problems. You won't be the person helping me manifest millions if you're not in the door. So the biggest problem I help my clients with is, how do we get you in the door? The first thing is, what's your house on fire concept? If you're going on podcasts or you're creating content around nice to have things like how to manifest millions, people will take you through the filter. Who are you? And if you don't pass that filter, they're gone. But if no one knows you, you don't have the big brand, you don't have the big numbers, all you have to do is be the person holding the fire extinguisher when the houses are burning. The second thing is, what's your house on fire offer? What's your fire extinguisher? What's that small thing that you can use to slide in the door? Because that's all we need to do, slide in the door. And the third phase, which is step 3, is how do we allow the right people to have a test drive of the work? So we began with the house on fire concept. We went to the fire extinguisher, which is your house on fire offer. And then 3, we now think, how can you offer a test drive to the buyer who's already paid for the fire extinguisher? In real life, like in my business, that is like a workshop where I teach one piece, like a demonstration piece, and then I do host it to customize this piece to everyone's business. Or in some of my clients' businesses, it's like a one-on-one breakthrough call where you do a custom plan for someone and invite them into long-term work. But the steps remain 3. 1, determine your house on fire concept. 2, determine your house on fire offer. 3, determine what your demonstration piece is going to be. Because if you can do these things, you will get clients year in, year out, and that will happen even if no one knows you in your industry. And the more you can be known for this house on fire moment, the more your industry gets to know you, and that is how you become a household name. That is how you make an impact in this world and make so much money, even if you're not the big household names today. There's endless industries And there's going to be endless activation points. So what I have done is I have an offer point. I want to invite you to Ignite workshop. What this workshop is going to do for you is it's going to help you nail your house on fire concept. It's going to help you clearly see what your house on fire offer is. And it's going to help you clear and unpack what your demonstration experience is. If this is something that you know you need, this is your invitation to grab the workshop. There will be a link in the comment section below. Grab the workshop and let me personally help you map out your house on fire concept. Let me help you map out your fire extinguisher. Let me help you unpack your demonstration experience. Because if you get these pieces together, you'll be able to slide into any industry, even if no one knows you. Today, it's really becoming hard to know what is fake and what is not fake. Today, people are very skeptical. And today, people are very selective with how they spend their time. So if people are not spending their time with your content, if people are not listening to what you're saying, if people are running you through an invisible filter, how then do you get in the door? By being the person that holds a fire extinguisher when their house is burning. Because if you're the person that is holding the fire extinguisher, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what credibility you have or don't have, it doesn't matter how many followers you have or don't have, you're getting the job. And once you're in the door and you solve the first problem well, there is always the next problem and the next problem and the next problem. And this is how you turn yourself from nameless, invisible to the trusted advisor for the people that are ready to take the journey. But for this to work, we need to be in front of someone that is ready for the work. We need to understand that there's activation moments and we need to slide into these activation moments. I always get this question, Prima, I don't want to meet people at rock bottom. I don't want to market the pain and the pain and the pain. I get that. And you don't have to be the person in the business of fire extinguishers for good. But you might want to use this fire extinguisher to penetrate the marketplace. And once you're a household name, you don't have to even talk about fire extinguishers. Now you can tell people that you help them manifest millions and they will believe you because in the process, you'll have manifested the millions. But without sliding in the door, it will become harder and harder and harder for you. So if you know that you want this for yourself, grab the link below, come into the workshop, and let me help you unpack your house on fire concept. Let me help you unpack your offer. Let me help you put together your demonstration experience. I will also put in house on fire by industry, so you can really go in there, you can scroll and you can copy and paste the moment and the offer. If that's you, click the link below and get the workshop.